Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I have the pleasure to be joined by my good friend, Austin Eckert. And today we're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs offense after their Week 1 win against the Baltimore Ravens. The Kansas City Chiefs offense is officially back. They put up 27 points in the NFL home opener against one of the best defenses in the NFL. That last year, that Ravens defense was number 1 in the NFL, and the Chiefs put up 27 points on opening night, and we saw two wide receivers absolutely go off in Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, and the Chiefs were even able to run the ball effectively at times. So we know how bad this offense was last year. They really struggled to put up more than 25 points a game. And so it seems like in just one game, we saw a more explosive offense than we did all of last year. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs offense after week 1?
Yeah, I thought the Chiefs offense was very impressive. Xavier Worthy getting that first touchdown of his NFL career was pretty special. And I just remember sitting there, watching the play happen, and I just jumped out of my seat and kind of ran around my apartment because I was so excited. And I don't know if we've talked about this, you and I, Michael, but the Buffalo Bills in the first round have traded picks with the Chiefs before. The last time they did that, the Chiefs were afforded the opportunity to draft Patrick Mahomes, and this past draft, the Chiefs were afforded the opportunity because of the Buffalo Bills to get Xavier Worthy, and he finished the night with 2 touchdowns, and it was really impressive. He had that rushing touchdown, and then had 2 receptions for 47 yards, but both of those receptions were tremendous. And then obviously Rashee Rice too. Welcome back to him. He's going to be a big part of this offense this season, and we saw him have a really impressive rookie season last year, and I have a good feeling he's going to take a big jump this season. And you mentioned the run game too. Pacheco finished the night with a touchdown, only got 45 yards on the ground, but he's the running back that you obviously want to have, on third down and short situations, and he delivered, and I thought he did a really nice job. But overall, a really good night for the Chiefs offense. The only bad thing I can really think about is the Mahomes interception, but it was towards the end of the first half, so every quarterback's going to make bad throws like that in their first couple of games of the season. But I was very pleased with the first showing.
Well, you mentioned the Mahomes interception. That's a very uncharacteristic moment for Mahomes. He tends to not do that. But, for this offense to move the ball like they did against this Ravens defense, I wasn't really expecting that in week 1. And listen, last year this Chiefs offense could not move the ball to save their lives. It was just a grind, and last year they were lucky if they could put up 21 points. And this year, in just one game, we saw an offense that could move the ball down the field, and not only move the ball down the field, but do it very quickly. This offense has more vertical speed than they've had in the past couple years, and that just opens up this entire offense. And I think that, the biggest thing that's worth noting, Hollywood Brown didn't even play in this game, and the Chiefs wide receivers looked unbelievable, and Travis Kelce had a pretty, mediocre performance for what we're used to from Travis Kelce. He had a couple catches for 35 or something yards like that. It was nothing.
Yeah, 3 for 34 yards. He averaged 11.3 yards per catch. He didn't get a whole lot of touches, but pretty much almost everybody on the offense was able to at least get one touch on the ball. And you mentioned Hollywood Brown. He might be coming back this week against the Bengals. We'll have to wait and see on him. But, just wait until Hollywood Brown gets in this offense. I think this is the best offense that he'll ever be a part of. You go back and look at, his time in Arizona. Obviously, I think it could have gone much better for him, but he's coming to a team that, knows how to run an efficient offense, and you got, the best quarterback in the game throwing you the football. And I'm really excited to see how he does once he returns.
Well, and I think that he's going to come back sooner rather than later, and he could be back this week. He might be back in week 3, but the important thing to mention is that he's coming back, and it's just another element that's going to make this offense that much better. And I also think that the Chiefs left points on the board in this game. There were multiple touchdowns that were either drop passes or they just couldn't convert, and it's week 1. They're going to get better as the season goes on, and so I expect them to convert on a lot of those, third and shorts and when they're in the red zone. They had to settle for field goals a couple times, but I expect in a couple weeks that this offense is going to be even better, And if they could put up 27 points playing their B+ or C game, I think that once we see this team play their A game, it is going to be a scary sight for the NFL.
Absolutely, and you mentioned it. The field goals. We got the Chiefs have the best kicker in the league right now in Harrison Butker. So, he's going to step up and deliver too. But it's only week one. Excuse me. But a lot of football to play, and a very tough opponent coming into Kansas City this upcoming weekend. Obviously, they lost to the Patriots at home, which was kind of a shock to me. But
did you watch that game?
I watched a little bit of that game, and
Yikes.
I was flabbergasted. I was baffled. I couldn't believe the Patriots pulled it off. With the type of team that they have, with how young that team is, and new head coach Gerard Mayo getting his first win on the road, or his first win as the Patriots head coach, is obviously very, very special, of course, for him and that organization and everyone else involved. But the Bengals are going to have a fire lit underneath them, and they want to come in here and they want to spoil the mood of the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
The Bengals look disoriented. I think that's the best way to describe it. Joe Burrow still has that wrist injury that, I think it's a lot worse than initially reported, and he's still struggling to throw the football.
I remember seeing the wrist injury like it was yesterday. Like, he was just throwing, and then all of a sudden he just couldn't throw, and it's wild. But aside from the the whole rivalry and those things, I've obviously got a lot of respect for Joe Burrow, and I certainly hope that wrist of his gets a lot better, because he is an exciting football player when he is healthy, but hopefully it gets better.
Well, these matchups are always so much fun to watch, even though the Chiefs have been on the losing side, at least in the regular season for the past couple seasons. But, last year they beat Jake Browning when he came to Arrowhead. That Bengals team had kind of packed it in by then. But, week 2, Bengals come to Kansas City. I don't care if the Bengals are 0-1. That team is going to be ready to play. They always play the Chiefs well in the regular season. And so it's going to be very pivotal that this offense continues to improve. And if week 1 was any indication of what we're going to see moving forward, I think the Chiefs offense will be just okay against Cincinnati. So, Austin, my final question for you is, do you think this Chiefs offense is going to be back to the best offense in the NFL, averaging the most points per game, maybe the most yards per game? It was just a couple of years ago that this offense was number 1 in points per game and looked damn near unstoppable.
Yeah, I have no doubt that the Chiefs can go on and accomplish that this season. There's a lot of really good offenses in the NFL this year. I mean, you look at the 49ers last night, they played really well. They had Christian McCaffrey out, but then that running back that came in, he came out of nowhere and ran for, I don't even know how many yards. It was like 150 or something. It was absolutely incredible. And you've got other offenses out there like the Cowboys, and for some reason the Buccaneers put up 37 points against the Commanders. I mean,
ridiculous.
They have Dan Quinn as their head coach, who is a great defensive mind. That's a huge win. You look at the Texans. They have C.J. Stroud, MVP candidate, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, all those guys. And the Colts, too. They got Anthony Richardson back. I mean, did you see that throw he made against the Texans?
Yeah.
His first touchdown, he was literally in the pocket, and he just literally threw it up and threw a perfect ball to Pierce, and it was unbelievable. But it's kind of heartbreaking to see that they ended up losing that game. But the Colts are going to be a threat in the AFC this season with Anthony Richardson out there, and that's another good offense. But long story short, lots of great offenses out there this season, and we saw that in week 1. And the Chiefs will definitely be at the top, but they just got to stay consistent. They got to take care of the ball, and they got to get the ball out to as many players as they can, because I feel like when they do that, they put up the most amount of points and yards.
The Chiefs have the playmakers this year. Last year they didn't, but this year they do. And so I expect this offense to be towards the top of the NFL, and they might not have the statistics to rank number 1, but the way that I look at it is, come playoff time, there is no other offense that you would rather have than Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense. And so that's the measuring stick that I use. If this Chiefs offense, gets through the regular season and doesn't have any problems scoring, the statistics will follow, but I think that it's more important to, just say that this Chiefs offense is deadly come playoff time, and they will be if these players keep performing at such a high level. So, Austin, my final question for you, I guess if you had anything else you want to add, but I was going to ask where the people can find you.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Austin C. Eckert, or you can follow me on Instagram at austin.eckert. So be sure to follow me on both of those platforms. You can follow me on YouTube as well. I am starting up my own YouTube platform. That handle is also Austin C. Eckert, so be sure to subscribe on my YouTube platform as well. You guys can find me out there.
All of that stuff will be linked in the description of this video. As for me, you guys can follow me on Instagram, KC_Sports Report. I just created a TikTok. I might have just, caved to the pressure and started one of those. So you can follow me on TikTok, same as the Instagram handle, KC_Sports Report. And Twitter is at KC Sports Report. Until next time, guys, for Austin Eckert, I'm Michael Darcy. Thanks for watching.